Good afternoon. The House Transportation Subcommittee for March 1st, 2022 is now in session. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representatives Boyd, Grills, Hall, Hicks of Washington, Howell, Potts, Russell, Towns, Vital, Chairman Whitson.
Here.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Just a reminder, our last calendar will be generated this week to be heard next Tuesday. So if you have any bills you'd like our committee to consider, please put them on notice before 3:30 tomorrow, correct? Yes. Okay. On today's calendar, number 3, House Bill 903 by Chairman Doggett is off notice. Item number 4, House Bill 1470 by Representative Ogles has been rolled 1 week. Having been calendared for 3 meetings, House Bill 1470 shall be set for a hearing on a special calendar to be published with the committee's final calendar. Also, item number 7, House Bill 2402 by Representative Mitchell has also been taken off notice. And with that, it's an honor to recognize our first bill sponsor today, Speaker Marsh. You are recognized, sir.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second, and we have an amendment on the bill, Speaker.
Yes, sir, we do.
What drafting number do you have, sir? I show 014154. 014154. Is that correct, sir?
That's it.
Do we have a motion and a second on the amendment?
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of placing amendment number 014154 on House Bill 2146, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The amendment goes on the bill and is properly before us. And, sir, a description of your bill, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. The amendment does make the bill. We've been working on this for several months. Chairman Howell and Chairman Bailey in the Senate, as you all know, that we've got a tremendous problem in the United States with supply chain bottlenecks. We don't have near enough drivers in the trucking business. Our company runs 600 trucks. We've got over 120 trucks empty with no drivers. And we've worked with the department. This is the administration bill that we've all worked on to try to alleviate some of the problems and the bottlenecks in letting men and women become drivers. So this bill primarily tackles the CDL, commercial driver's license, bottleneck of getting guys who want to be a truck driver to be able to get their license. So I want to read some of what this bill does, and then I do have a fellow that would like to speak just for a few minutes that's in the CDL training business that wants to tell a little bit about this. There are current barriers to the state and federal level for people to obtain commercial driver's license. This bill will remove some of these barriers so that more people can enter the trucking industry. And let's see, getting a commercial driving skills test is a major bottleneck to increasing commercial truck drivers. This bill increases the resources and staff of the department to allow for a quicker turnaround time for scheduling commercial driving skills tests and will expand other options for our third-party partners to conduct more commercial driving skill tests on the department's behalf. This bill creates a framework for more third-party partnerships to conduct commercial skills testing. This bill will allow for more flexibility for school bus endorsements, testing, and ensure safer school bus drivers as well. This bill allows for the purchase of surplus commercial vehicles to keep the state testing sites, to put it to state testing sites, expands the intrastate commercial driver's license availability and allows for more people to get back into trucking after letting their commercial driver's license expire. It also adds some language that's needed from the federal government into our code, so we'll have to do that later. While these changes help open the door for more truck drivers, it will keep the department federal compliant and our roads safe, as well making sure federal highway funds are not at risk by being out of federal compliance. Now, what the main problem we have is, according to the department, is they don't have enough funds to provide enough skill testers. So what's happening is if you want to become a commercial truck driver, you go to your local driving station and you take a written test. And after you pass that test, you make an appointment to go have your driving skill test with our department. Sometimes you have to make an appointment for anywhere from a month to 3 months out, so they just don't have near enough skills test. So a guy that finds that out, they've got to have a job immediately, so they don't follow through with becoming a truck driver. So what we're doing is we're making it a lot easier. We're taking some of the requirements out. We're loosening some of the requirements. And if we can allow third-party testers, which is what's in this bill, to get involved in the business, this bottleneck should go away in, 2 or 3 months, in my opinion. And so that's what, if you don't mind, I'd like to let's go out of session and let Sean Davis come up, who's in the commercial driver's license business, and just let him say what this bill should be able to do for his business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And we'll take questions after we hear from the testimony. So without objection, we'll go out of session. And Mr. Davis, please step forward and state your full name and who you're with, sir.
How you doing, sir? My name is Sean Davis. I'm a Tennessee CDL school. My name is Sean Davis, and I'm a Tennessee CDL school. Now, for us, I have been in the industry of trucking and training individuals for over a decade. I've been a state tester and a third-party administrator in the state of Florida for many students to come through and get their CDL. In coming here and opening a school, we have an abundance of people that are trying to get into school and go through the program and get a job because the money's there, and they need a job and better money. They come through our school, which is 3 to 4 weeks. At the end of that, they're having to wait 2 to 3 months before they can even take a CDL test. And the reason behind that is because that's how backlogged they are. In 2 to 3 months of not having a job after spending 3 weeks in school and not having any money coming in, and now you have to wait that long, that puts a major bind on our people here in the state. And then they might have to go get another job. On top of that, their skills diminish. They start losing their ability because they've spent that long not doing it. So then they don't pass, or there's issues, and then they got to take it again. And if they don't have to take it again, now I got to wait 2 or 3 more months. So what this bill does is helps us get more third-party testers like I used to be in the state of Florida to administer these tests with the rules provided and allow the bottleneck to go, which right now I'm booked out months in advance. So I can now provide double to triple the amount of drivers that I could have before. Thank you.
Members, do we have any questions for the witness? Chairman Howell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for coming today, and appreciate your presence. Do you know how many other states have it in their code to allow third-party testers to cooperate with the DOT?
Most majority states do. In fact, the state of Florida has switched completely over to third-party testing only. As they don't have DMVs, they have tax collectors only. And then to help their budget, they allow that to kind of be an easier way. That way they don't have to spend the money on paying for testers and the facility and everything like that.
And your company, you would apply to become a third-party tester?
I've actually applied and I got denied because of funding and availability to train and to make that happen. So we've been waiting and waiting.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that third-party testing is a part of this bill, and hope to see it pass. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman Russell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do you train school bus drivers also?
My school does not, but I do have a program for the theory, which is in order to get their endorsement, in order to later on get the training that a school board might train them and then test them out later on. But in order to get that endorsement, I do have the theory training for that.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for our witness? Representative Towns.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Third-party testing. The CDL applicant pays for that?
Yes, sir.
On an average, what is that running for? If I wanted to be a CDL, obtain my CDL license, what would it cost me?
For the test fee for that? Well,
Right.
the state is free. Third party is $250, which is a good thing because in here it maxes out the amount to be 250 only. And this is on page 3 at the top. So it maxes it out at 250 that they must pay, whereas states like Florida, I mentioned, just because of my expertise in that, they haven't put a cap. So then you have a lot of individuals that are overcharging.
Okay. So when I come to your company and I'm tested, am I driving the trucks and all that as well?
Well, we train the individual right now.
Okay.
And obviously, if you train the individual, if there's an instructor that trains them, they can't test them. So we would have our own specialized testers that's all they did. So after they're trained, then they would go with a tester, and they would do skills pre-trip and then go on the road with that tester.
Got it. So you think this will help us with our, reduce our bottlenecks? Obviously, we need our trucks on the road, more and more trucks on the road, immensely.
Immensely. I mean, like I said, right now, if I did 150 students in a year, but I can do 300 to 400 students in a year, and I can get them tested and passed within 4 weeks to 5 weeks, versus now 4 to 6 months, and then maybe they drop out of it or don't even do it.
Right.
You know, even though they're paying for that, or our own government funds from WIOA have paid for that training, and they haven't been able to pass because they haven't gotten tested in time.
And people have to move on if they're working. I mean, if they have families or whatever, they got to move on and try to live, no question about it. Now, finally, for you, from your expertise, the safety record is pretty good with our third-party testers in terms of how these guys
It's going to be the same as the DMV. In fact, better, because you're getting it addressed sooner when the skills are fresh in their mind, versus now they've had months off.
Right.
And if you've done anything and for 2 to 3 weeks and learned something really good, and then you take that time off, you're going to lose it and get rusty.
Right. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for our witness? Seeing none, we're going back in session. Thank you, sir. We're back in session. Speaker Marsh, you get the last word, sir.
Thank you. As you can see, this should really ease our bottleneck. And I don't know if you all know, but when you go to do a test now, a skills test, the applicant has to take their own tractor and trailer to the site. Where we have to take it in, out of my area, is into Columbia. So you get an appointment that's a month to 3 months down the road, and then you have to figure out how you're going to take your own tractor and trailer, and you have to pay a driver because you don't have the license to drive it over there. So it's many bottlenecks in this that this is going to help out with. And what this extra funds are going to do with the department, they're going to hire 6 to 8 additional people with this. And what they're primarily going to do with those is make those auditors of these third-party testers. So we can get a lot more third-party testers all across the state, and the department's going to go around and make sure they're doing it properly and safely. So it's a really good program. Another thing in this bill is we're going to allow 18-year-olds, which cannot get their CDL and drive interstate. 18-year-olds will be able to get their CDL and drive a class A or B license anywhere in the state of Tennessee. So we catch them out of high school. We're going to teach them how to drive a truck around close, and then when they turn 21, they should be ready to go over the road. So it's a lot of good things in here. I'll be glad to take any
questions for our sponsor? Chairman Howe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, Speaker Marsh. You and I collaborated on this with the Department of Safety for several months, and I guess the committee sees I'm a co-sponsor on this bill, and I feel about the same as Speaker Marsh does. And I wanted to thank Department of Safety as well as Elizabeth Stroker for meeting with us, helping us kind of sort through some of the things and concerns that we have, which I believe are addressed in this bill. Is it perfect? Could we do more? Possibly so, but this is a good start. And I'm excited to see what it does to help companies like you find the employees that you need to run your company. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Marsh, Chairman Howe. Anybody else? Speaker Marsh.
I would like to echo what Chairman Howe said, that the department and Elizabeth Stroker and all of their people have been very open to ideas that the Tennessee Trucking Association and Senator Bailey and Sean have brought up to us, and they have stretched and made some changes that they didn't want to do up front. But I think they're willing to make some changes. They see the bottleneck, they see the problem, and let's try them and see if we can't make this work. So I think it's going to really be a good thing for Tennessee.
That's good. Question called? Question has been called. We are now voting on House Bill 2146 as amended. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Bill passes, goes to full transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members.
Colonel Reagan, could you hold weapons tight and circle for a moment here? We have a member that has to run, has two other bills, okay, sir? Did I get the sign right on that? Certainly. Okay. Weapons tight, okay? So, members, we're going to skip over to House Bill, item number 9 by Chairman Russell. Chairman Russell, you are recognized on House Bill 1663.
Thank you, Chairman.
We have
And
a
I got
motion
an
and a second,
amendment.
and I see we have an amendment.
Yes, sir. Drafting code 013964.
We're in sync. Do we have a motion and a second on the amendment? We have a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor of placing amendment 013964 on House Bill 1663, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Amendment goes on the bill. Sir, please explain your bill.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee. House Bill 1663, as amended, makes the Hannah Eimers Memorial Tennessee Roadside Safety Hardware Act. In November of 2016, Hannah died when an guardrail end speared into her car, and her father has since then been an advocate for making guardrails safer. And this bill would simply require the State Department of Transportation to keep abreast of the United States Secretary of Transportation implementations of these testing measures and adopt them to the greatest extent feasible under state law, with the goal of being that the State Department of Transportation will be in compliance with the requirements of the United States Department of Transportation. This don't cost the state of Tennessee anything, and it just keeps us safe.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Question on the bill. Second. Question's been called. All in favor of House Bill 1663 going to full transportation, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Moves on to full transportation. Thank you,
Thank
Chairman.
you.
Next up, we have Chairman Reagan, the distinguished gentleman from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. You are recognized, sir, on House Bill 2041.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This bill is rather simple. What it does is, I have been before this committee several times.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, we do have an amendment. Can we get the amendment on the bill?
Yes, I would be pleased to do that. Drafting code 014045.
That's correct. All in favor of putting the amendment number, we have a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor of placing amendment number 014045 on the bill, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Amendment goes on the bill. Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And as I was saying, I've been before this committee several times with what I call rescue bills. For those of you that are not familiar with my district, everybody's heard of Oak Ridge, and probably a lot of you have heard of Clinton, but my district also includes coal mining country. And 2 federal administrations ago, the war on coal was announced, and I went from 6 coal mines to 0. What that did, of course, was put a lot of my constituents out of work. Some of them had to move, some of them drive long distances to work now. This bill, in conjunction with those that I've carried before, has been a rescue effort for that part of my district. What we have done is replaced coal mining country with adventure tourism. And I'm pleased to tell you at this point in time that it's beginning to pay off. People are actually wanting to buy houses and move into that area, whereas before it was a ghost land. This bill, as amended, basically takes ATV trails and allows them to be connected by short distances over road. It allows ATVs and UTVs to go a short distance away from a trail to get gas or food and then get back on the trail. The Department of Transportation has provided this amendment after looking at the original proposal, and Senator Yeager and I are very pleased with this as an additional value-added piece of this amendment. With that explanation, I stand ready to answer questions.
Mr. Chairman, do we have any questions for the sponsor? Question's been called. All in favor of sending House Bill 2041 to full transportation, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Sir, it moves on to full transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Thank you for letting us take you out of order there.
Appreciate it.
Okay, like I said, item number 3 has been taken off notice. Item number 4 has been rolled 1 week to our special calendar. We are now on item number 5 by Representative Hodges of Montgomery County. We have a motion and a second. Sir, we see an amendment on this bill. What your drafting code do you have there?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, drafting code 014222.
That's correct, yes. Okay, do we have a motion and a second? We have a motion and a second. Okay, so all in favor of putting amendment number 014222 on House Bill 1965, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Amendment goes on the bill, sir. Please explain your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So what the bill does is it allows, when the roads are closed within the entertainment district in Clarksville, it allows the businesses that reside within that entertainment district to use golf carts to transport their customers around. It's only when the roads are closed, so really it's going to be for festivals and things like that.
Yeah. And again, I want to thank you for helping put this bill in the proper posture after Transportation Full Committee this morning with Representative Hicks and I. And so with that, members, no questions. We are voting now on House Bill 1965. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. It moves on to full transportation, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Okay, folks, we're now on item number 6 with Representative Powell. Sir, you are recognized on House Bill 2278. We have a motion and a second on the bill, and Representative, we have an amendment. What number are you showing there, sir?
I show drafting code 1014434.
I do too, and so do we have a motion and a second on the amendment? We have a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor of placing amendment number 014434 on House Bill 2278, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Amendment goes on the bill. Sir, please explain your bill.
Sure. So my bill deals with the possibility of Amtrak, and I've been working, let me say, first of all, I appreciate the Class 1 Railroad's assistance on this, specifically working on my amendment. Want to make sure that we have task or take a deep look at it. Right now, Amtrak has expressed interest specifically of a line going from Atlanta to Nashville. There's also talk of coming to Bristol. My hope is to expand that beyond the state of Tennessee. And so this is simply going to look at that in depth and look at some of the other states have done, and hopefully, take us a step closer to bringing passenger rail travel in the state of Tennessee.
Representative Powell, I just want to compliment you. I know how you have worked on this and made it a part of your legislative efforts up here, and I think you've done a great job on it, and I fully support this legislation. Do we have any questions from the Representative Towns? You are recognized.
Mr. Chairman, thank the sponsor for the bill as well. I'd love to sign on to the bill. I think it's timely, appropriate. Hopefully we can get something done in short order. Appreciate the bill.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Seeing none, we are now voting on House Bill 2278 to send to full Transportation Committee. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Moves to full transportation. You're welcome. Committee item number 7 has been taken off notice. We are now recognizing Representative Mitchell. Are you in? Oh, there you are, sir. Representative Mitchell from Davidson County, sir. You are recognized on House Bill 2394. Do I have a motion and a second? Do I have a motion and a second? We have a motion and a second. Yes, sir. You are now, the bill is properly before us. Please proceed with a brief description of your bill.
Yeah,
sir.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee. The intent of this bill is to ensure through education on the topics of domestic violence, human trafficking, and driving under the influence. The intent is also to create more awareness about how to report and seek assistance should the individual themselves be a victim of abuse or someone who knows who is. We know that teens tend to make studying more of a priority when there's an enticing incentive, like a driver's license. We're hoping to use this opportunity to educate our young people on matters they might not otherwise take the time to research or ensure they understand the gravity and implications of driving under the influence and provide access to potentially life-saving resources on the other topics. You know, as well, as a father of teenagers, I think I never saw my 16-year-old son study for anything as much as he did the driver's license test. I don't think it would be too much to ask a child to sit down and watch a video to learn about subject matter that is life-changing, could be life-changing and life-saving if they had the knowledge and resources before them. And, you know, the department came to me and, you know, they were concerned about this. They're saying it's going to slow down the wait time, you know, of taking the test. And I said, I'll gladly amend it. So I've got an amendment being drawn that this will be something that the child does at home, watches the video, prints off, gets the certificate, and it'll be like all the other documentation they have to take to the driver's license testing center to present to be able to take the test. So it should not slow down any testing.
So, Representative Mitchell, are you saying you rolling this till next week for the amendment?
If that's what you want to do, I can roll it till next week if you're still going to be open next week and do it that way. But the department today was the first time they complained about the time, so I said I can solve that problem.
Okay. Well, we'll be open next week. And
We'll just roll it till next week then. I
okay,
appreciate
without
the time.
objection, we're going to roll House Bill 2394 to final calendar. Okay, folks, that brings us up to item number 10 by the Chairman Boyd. Chairman Boyd, sir, you are recognized on House Bill 2287.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and a second, sir. Please give us a description of your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As many of you know, in 2021, the Tennessee State Fair was relocated to the Wilson County Fairgrounds, the James Ward Ag Center. So what this bill would do is it would update the sign on the interstate that right now says the James Ward Ag Center. It would also list the Tennessee State Fair. I'll take any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I tell you, I went out there for a breakfast last year, and that is an incredible facility y'all have. I just wish we had it in Williamson County, the State Fair, but I can see why it's in Wilson County. Do we have any questions from the committee? Seeing none, we are now voting on House Bill 2287. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Bill moves out to House Bill 2287 moves out to full transportation. Do we have that completes our business. We're adjourned.